Thank you. How's it going? What is happening? How are we doing today? How is everybody? My body cannot decide if it is hot or cold. Hello, Voz. Hello, BB. How's it going? Let's put the blanket back on. I need to take it off in 5 more minutes. Hello, randomly. Hi. So many people. Scooch myself back forward. Make sure Twitch is all good. Hell yeah. Ah. Hot Cold Blue. I hate that I can say that's actually very nearly a Metal Gear character. A weapon to surpass Metal Gear. It really looks like my model's leaning forward quite a bit. Hang on. Snap my spine back into place. I need someone to do that to me in real life. Oh, hello, Das. Your several cutscenes in sequence are going well. And then I sit back after me immediately start leaning to one side. I'm finished. Invite me, you goober. Well, heck! You're the one who's going to have to sit here and not talk about what you just did for 3 hours. I'll say, fine, alright. Incoming chat. One sec, you're muted. Put that out. Oh, I can hear you, chat can't. Is what I meant. I just need to sort out the overlay, because it's all messed up from when we did Subculture. Here we go. We have a friend with us, chat.
I am here. Hello.
I'm in full brain fart mode today because I was literally staring at all my scenes like, where the frick is the art screen? There it is. It's where it always is. It's literally not moved.
Well done.
Frames. There we go.
So, how is the fluff?
I'm going. I'm fluctuating wildly, I think, is the answer. Okay, let's there we go. There we go. Fantastic. Over we come. There we go. Those who know and who follow, which I think is everybody here, will have seen the video that I put on my Twitter of this little guy moving. So I'm very excited from that.
Hey, yeah, Batman.
Yeah.
Great. Look at a little goober doing a little dance.
Yeah. It took a very long time. Mentally exhausted from the work of getting this fella into Unity and working. I'm kind of glad I didn't stream it because it would not have been in any way watchable or enjoyable.
And just in case anyone did miss it, there you go. There's your.
Well, I'm gonna. I could because I can do this because this is my stream. There's no sound, so you don't need to adjust your hearing. There's no sound. Little fella. Yes, this is me. The thing is that the blend shapes that I spent all yesterday setting up do work. They have got essentially lip syncing if you speak. But I only realized upon getting it in VRC that they appear to have meshed with the fins. So when you talk, those fins flail wildly, which is why there's no talking in this because it doesn't look great and I need to fix it.
Say la vie. Look at there.
And it's getting there, but they're in VR chat. I can run around as them, which is crazy. And yeah, I think a small part of my head didn't think I would ever get this far, and I actually did, which is bonkers.
Yeah.
And then here's me doing my little happy bounces. Well, all who know me to picture me standing alone in my computer room with a VR headset on, bouncing up and down as this little lizard guy as I go, it works!
Meanwhile, there's just Spook in the corner, just like looking at.
Oh, Spook was asleep, that's why I'm like, I was alone. Spook be sleeping, and I'm just like, hee! There we go. Hot damn. But yeah, it took me a goddamn age to get there, but I did. There were so many errors and things that came up, and a lot of them ended up being like, just do it fucking again, just start over. Don't know what went wrong, but something went wrong somewhere. Just freaking go back to Blender, re-export it, start again. And the Noom at the end, yes, that was also me going, yay, I need to turn the camera off.
The typical streamer thing of, or like the person posting a video online where they're reaching to turn off the camera of the thing that they're talking into.
Yeah,
I mean, way you're running towards like.
I mean, I actually trimmed off the end. Hang on, since we're doing a show and tell, I'll show the end that I trimmed off because I did trim off the end where I go fix the camera. So I come over, I go wee off to the side, and then I come back in after a second.
POV, a crow is looking at a security camera.
Yeah, and then here I am. I'm like, oh, I need to turn this back off. Hang on. And
it's like a little. It is like a little crow, like poking at a camera. Like, what the fuck?
It's me taking the headset off and walking back over to the computer. I'm like, I can find the pause button.
You can only get fine quality content like this here.
As I clip the camera through my skull. I love the way that the head is tilted back because that is I've got the headset on as like a visor. So my eyes are actually like, where the head is because that's how the tracking works. So this is me tilting the visor back and the head following it. Dubious little creature up to mischief. Yes, their maximum mischief is the goal for this one.
Yeah, very much.
I love how wiggly I got the tail.
Yeah. How does that work then? Is it just like physics in regards to the rest of the body's movement, or?
Yeah, it is literally a VR Chat's inbuilt thing that they call Fizzbones, literally. It's a property that is assigned in the Unity engine, because VR Chat runs in Unity. Where you literally pick essentially a base bone, so in this case it's this one down at the spine, and it just applies like a physics to it, and then you can sort of tweak the various values that they have in Unity. They have like drag and weight and all of that and things like that, so you can make things have like the fins also have a fizz bone put on them. But the physics on the fizz bones is a lot less, so they only have small amounts of slight waving and wiggles, which you can see as I move my head. They sort of waggle around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
which is very similar to the physics that I have on the VTuber avatar of the ear wiggle. But again, the ear wiggle is quite dramatic, whereas the fin wiggle is not so much.
That's the kind of thing as well it can afford to be.
Yeah, because it's the fun fact of, is it this window? Hang on, I can't remember which window it is. It's going to be this window. The tail of my VTuber does have physics on it. You just never see it because you don't see the tail. But my tail does have wiggle physics on it.
I mean, we can see it.
You can see it down there.
We can very easily see your tail when stuff like that happens.
That's a ragdoll, though. That don't count. Ah!
No, but I can't see the tail leave.
Ow. So yeah. In fact, we're doing full storytelling mode. So let's bring up. Do you want to see the mistakes? So first we have Kobold Skiing Holiday. I don't. Yeah, it's Kobold Skiing Holiday. Also, yeah. So I learned afterwards that this was a bounding box error, which I fixed. But for a very long.
You there? Which way did they go? They went that way.
That way, sir. So yeah, so I fixed the feet, but for a very long time, I still had this issue because this is the avatar select page in VR chat. That's supposed to be all of your avatar. And you'll notice down here it says height 5.6 meters. That's not how tall a kobold's supposed to be.
No.
So I was like, for some reason it thinks that like the kobold is up here. Like this window should be a full body shot of your head should be at the top and your feet should be at the bottom. And instead I've got them all here. I could not suss out why it was like that. Again, that was one of the ones where I just did a re-import and tried to fix it. Do you want to see the next horror game villain?
Sure. I think I've seen that in the back rooms.
Let's break this down, okay? We've increased our height to 60 meters. 60 meters tall. There are our lovely clawy hands that have become webbed somehow.
Have you seen that meme that's going around of
let me do it for you? Creamy. So yeah, our chest is up here, our upper arms have become strings, our chest has become a Toblerone triangle. You can just about make out that little pixel that is the head.
Oh, that's the head.
That's the head.
The circles were the head.
No, and then all the way down the body here is a couple of pixels. That's our tail and our feet. And I don't know why it did that either, because it didn't look like that in the engine. That was once it was in VR chat, it looked like that. Because in the engine, it just looked like this, how it was supposed to.
The animatronics here do get a little quirky at night.
Yeah. So our height increased. We went from 5 meters to 60. So that was another rip it out and start from scratch. But we got there eventually. Oh my god! But yeah, it's 2 days of suffering is what that was. 2 days of suffering.
We got there in the end.
But it got there in the end. And basically, I have it because it was one of those things where I was trying so much, I actually don't know what was the one thing that fixed it because I was doing multiple things to try to fix things.
Right.
But hey, if it happens again in the future, then I have an idea of things to try to fix it. But anyway, it's been an interesting couple of days trying to get that sorted. So that's me sorted. And now I want to know about you, friend, because it feels like a very long time since I've spoken to you.
Yeah.
We don't do D&D currently.
Yeah, we don't do D&D, so we've not actually talked, unfortunately.
No.
we tend to have at least 2 to 3 times a week where we at least engage somewhat, including streams, of course.
Yes.
But we haven't had much. So the unfortunate grossness is me. Basically, Stacey was quite well for a while with a nasty chest cough.
Yes. Yes.
And
Is
I
that
got it from her.
Yeah, because the last time I had an art stream, Curls was busy, but you were also unwell, so I was by myself.
That was my first day of being grossly unwell. It absolutely tanked me. I straight up intended to go inside, put the stream on the phone, so it was propped up on the phone on the little stand, and I was gonna watch the stream. I passed out.
Oh,
I straight up was gone, and I woke
your
up
body
at
needs the
end.
sleep.
Yeah, I woke up at the end and just was like, "What's going on?" My voice has gone through everything from the slug from Monsters Inc. of just Wazowski all the way to "Let me do it for you" to one point, which was kind of nerve-wracking, where I was talking with Stacey and I straight up lost my voice mid-conversation.
Oof. Yikes. That is awful.
Yeah, it was rough. But had a few games of Warhammer to try and make up for it.
Hell yeah.
A bit with Kay. Kay again kicked my ass with Grey Knights. I got to play against Spook.
I was aware of this happening, yes.
Yes, we played a 500-point army where he got to play the Necrons, which are the quote-unquote Bodhi boys of 40k, but they're metal Bodhi boys. And then we played 1,000 points. With that TLDR, that's the value of the army. So more guys in it, basically. And he beat me on the 1,000-point one. Quite handedly, honestly. Necrons, his guys have a thing where after damage is done and everything else, they get to make a roll on a d6.
Mm-hmm.
And a 5 up, so 5 or 6, that unit doesn't die.
Yes, I was aware of this. Yeah, Spook sat and vaguely explained some of his army to me, and I was very much in the girlfriend stereotype, which, to be fair, in our entire relationship has almost never happened because pretty much I was always into whatever Spook was in. But this has been the first time where I've just sort of been there, just sort of nodding and going, "That's nice." I don't know what you're talking about. That's how I. But he was just like, he was like, basically they just keep coming back, and I was like, well, they are undead zombies, so that reads.
They keep coming back. They have a lot of rapid fire, but a lot of armies aren't meant to be able to shoot while in melee, and falling back, like bolting out of melee, costs you your ability to shoot. The Necrons, it does it if they have certain things in place, and all these things combined together make them terrifyingly nasty. So, of course, to his credit, he did beat me fair and square. I do hope to play against him again soon, where I get to bring my salamanders against him. So that's my flamey loyalist Space Marine boys. I got to play a little game on the table with Stacey there last night. We basically just did like points on the map, stand on the point, you get the objectives, so on. More points, whoever wins at the end, so on. And I was like, yeah, you can use. Her army is a group of chaos Space Marines, so they're evil Space Marines, basically. Misunderstood, some might say. And she doesn't have enough models for a whole 500-point army, so we have another set that we made up from a practice box you can get.
Yeah.
So just pick some of those and say that they're this unit, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I get that. That's kind of what we're probably going to do. Because for those who don't know, the main Christmas gift that I got for Spook this year was some proxy Warhammer models. Because I knew he was getting into Warhammer. They're not official ones, because I didn't really have the money for them, because there's a lot that you need to get to make an entire army. That's like, a couple of hundred you got to drop to get a whole army in one go. Yeah. So my dad, I employed my dad's 3D printer to 3D print him some proxy ones. So until he knows exactly what he wants and what he wants to get in the future, get some placeholder models, which is valid.
I don't know what you're talking about, Blue. You entirely legitimately bought those armies, though,
We don't have any armies. There are no armies.
Anyway, so we played against each other a little bit on it, and we have a single a piece of terrain, shall we call it, in the house. So we sat there looking at it, and it's essentially how a lot of things. Now, bear in mind, this was our assessment of how certain things work. So these could be grossly inaccurate, but we were very much so of the mindset of, okay, let's say that for most of this, for everything we're trying to do, we'll just say that stopping someone else from performing a counter spell style thing, you have to see them. We're spitballing, guys. Because they're changing up a lot of things in the future, we pretty much are like, yeah, we're not buying the official rules. We're just gonna get them later. But it became a thing of, no, my guy can see yours to counter, and I'm going, I literally can't see your guy from my angle. How is he countering someone I can't see? And she's like, no, he's flying. It's like, no, he's not flying. You said he wasn't flying. And
Tabletop game debate.
Yes, very much so. It went the full way all in all, and eventually it came to a stage of she had one unit left and I had two, and it was like, okay, your unit could kill mine, but it was like turn 3, and it's 3 or 5 turns that you do basically, and it's like they can, if they get to me, they're still not killing. They're still not going to take back all the points by the time they wipe out the rest of my units. So I'll have more points at the end of the game than she will. Like enough that it makes a difference. So it was one of those things of, yeah, okay, I win, basically. So my only 2 wins are someone who's never played the game before and a man's second time playing the game.
Aww.
That's it. I don't mind being the what can we call it? The entry level challenge.
Entry level opponent.
Yeah. I'm the easy boy to get in on. And going from there with it, I ain't got no fuss with that at all, because that just means I get to play a bunch.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I know the Fluffy shouldn't be doing this, but it looks like the Kobold is going out. Wooga! Yes, they should not be doing that, but now it's been fixed. I knew that one of the mouth-shaped keys had incorrectly mapped to the fins, but that, I think, has now fixed it. And also Higher Eyes, yes, they have colour now, they also move. You should go to my Twitter, there's a video of it moving there. The Asylum Demon of Warhammer 40k if you want to Dark Souls it up. I know what that means. Okay, so that's that issue fixed. Let's get a little bit of music put on, there we go.
Whoops, sorry, push to talk.
Whoops.
Yeah, I stopped holding down Frog Cough.
Aww.
Yeah, but she's so great. I was realizing what BB was saying was basically that I am the Asylum Demon of our 40k group, in that I'm the first boss you encounter. I also take the compliment that the Asylum Demon has a dump truck ass, so I'll take that win.
Hell yeah.
So you know from our personal comments that I've made things of like, I've been looking at streams of other games recently. The patch has just gone, patch good, content good. That's all I'll say.
Fair, fair.
Serotonin game. will also unfortunately be the last time I'm on a stream from this place for a while. But we'll be returning to Ireland.
Ah, that's fair.
The unfortunate, shitty thing that I've had to do for a while, and I don't know.
Oh.
It was the realization that I've been actively putting off getting the ferry ticket. It's like, wow, I really want to go back. Oh, that obvious, huh?
Soon be permanent.
Absolutely, it's just a matter of, I want it now. Don't care how, I want it now.
Yes.
By hook or by crook or by threat of nuclear annihilation. I mean, that's not really a good threat, because any nuke that hits us, hits Ireland, is also hitting you guys, so.
Yeah. I think any nuke that hits any portion of the UK would hit the whole of the UK. I mean, if you hit the south, you might take out part of France, which is, agreeable for most people, I'm sure.
The nukes are your arms. Ah, understood.
Ah.
So, funny, weird bit of writing I did. I don't want to say last week. I think it was on the weekend I did it. Basically, I woke up at like 3 a.m. because being unwell, I'm waking up anyway. But what I found myself doing was I woke up and I just had a compulsion to write. And of all things I wrote, this sounds weird. I wrote what Thane would reply to Mara with if Mara ever tried to get in his dreams.
Oh, okay. I get you. Good old sort of what if fic kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, they're always fun.
Not writing of her content, of course, because I'm not going to imply anything from Curls, but just a full Thane monologue of just. Actually. Yes, I entitled it, I don't even know what compelled this.
That's what all the good fics are like. Good fics are always called, like, I don't know, I just made it up, or something like that.
Yeah. It's one of the few things I've written recently where I've not done a writing habit I've done where I'll start writing it and I'll just use like whatever I come up with as my beginning. But whatever I try to write at my end, whenever I get to my ending point, I tend to find something or a statement that I can end on, and I like pull that in my head, and then I look back and go, can I use that as my starting sentence as well?
Ah, yes, you like to start and finish on the same sentence.
Yeah, I've gotten into a bit of a habit with that, but it begins with just like talking about the thing of like I could like I'm spitballing it because the first bit is not pleasant listening. Knows how to like stop the struggle and give up basically, but I refuse. I refuse you vehemently. If often said it's because I have a duty to my common man, a duty to the next generation, a duty to my goddess, and after that is plenty. After that will be enough to weather the storm, withstand the strife, endure the agony. But it will be applied like an ointment, swallowed like a tonic, inhaled like a vapor. Give me the strength to divide the bowl within, to defy the bowl without, and to defy you, but not always. Impossible for one method to grant perseverance through all hardship. No, sometimes it is simple spite. Solely because I know the hardship it brings you. Defiance for defiance' sake alone. Stubborn, not a bullheaded confrontation. I didn't edit this since. I just wrote this in a haze at 3. And
Ooh, sun. That's good shit.
I have one here that I think you might like. I think back to Meganhold. I think back to the cradle. I think back to the fate of the Fae. I remember what your machinations have done, and I refuse you. I think to what I saw in the reflection, what I saw beheld in the bedroom, what I felt at the ball. It's not my place to kill you. No. She deserves that right more than any other. Any door you try to bar, I will sunder. Any lock you try to latch, I will shatter. Any force you put in opposition of us, I will smash. It's not my place to skewer my spear into your heart. My hammer to hew your skull, my sword to slash your soul. That is her fate. I will relish her victory. Savor her satisfaction. I don't know why I was writing in 3s. Fucking enjoy it though.
It's good.
It's no goddamn sense. Compels me.
I know it's literally the thing of like 3 is the magic number, but it literally is. Things naturally, I think, do work better in 3s in a lot of things. It's why image compositions will have the rule of thirds, and then they'll have things like background, midground, and foreground, and you'll get like pairs of 3, groups of 3s in like in groups of people and things like that, and in stories and things like that.
Yeah.
So yes, three is naturally quite a good number.
I'll give you the last 2 sentences of it. For he is the last thing I will rip from you, last of what you care of to be taken. So leave me to my night slumber and tread not in my mind again. Sleep well, Your Majesty, have rejoiced. The end of your sad life will be very, very soon.
Woof!
Me looking at that going, why can't I do that during the session? How does tired on medication me at 3 a.m. do better than I do when I'm fully coherent and ready to go?
It's not better, it's just different.
Yeah, but tell me that I wouldn't have a fucking pumped crew if I didn't just hit someone with that at the beginning of the session. Like,
But every person on the planet always wishes that they could have said something in a session half as good that they can write afterwards. It's the two aren't comparable, and you should not compare them. Because they're both good.
I've just been tiddling around, but something I did just made an error and it's made a weird patch on this armor that I've not been able to get rid of. So I'm gonna kind of this. You probably saw I posted it on Twitter a little while back. Just a thing of Thane where I was following advice from Stacey, I was using a lot of very simple shapes and then going onto another layer and inking connections to them and then
Yes.
like inking up again. And
Yes.
Sometimes you get a Caleb monologue, sometimes you get life needs this.
Yep.
Christ, Phoebe,
That's
you couldn't
how
be
it
more
be. It do be like that sometimes. And sometimes it's orange in a blender.
very much.
I'm content for that to be my most iconic D&D line.
I mean, yeah. Orange in a blender is incredibly fitting because
It's visceral.
it's firstly, yes, visceral, but also it fits where the character was at that stage of the night.
Yes.
Because that day is still wild in my head when you think about it. Like
D&D days, man.
D&D days are wild. Like we got into the center of town. I feel like we did rest. I feel like we did rest. Otherwise, that implies we got into town, got there, and then did everything with the church after it. Which I know our crew are fucking like enduring for long periods of time, but that would be fucking absurd if we did. But get into town, get into the center of town at the rebel holdout. Like, get to the church. Get the gear from the church back to town after getting gear to the church, like getting weapons to the church, getting food back to town. Getting to the cradle.
Mm-hmm.
Then Zalric goddamn Goldwood, going off and being Zalric goddamn Goldwood in the best possible way. We had the equivalent of frag grenades. They were hell-based those, which is probably actually like a Mephit's soul, like at the point of combustion, just been
Yeah, that when they die and explode.
Yeah, put into a knight into a glow stick, but a lot more explosive. Crack, throw. Get in, and we'd already fought the Umber Hulks outside the church as well. And I think we had like one or two like little scraps between everything as well. Then we get in, and I forget exactly what it was that Thane said. It was just a case of, this is the only opportunity someone's going to give you to save your life. They don't care about your lives. They want you to die slowing us down. And then you aptly threw in, he's asking, I'm not. Which was great because, yeah, that cloud of smoke that was fading away. There's like Thane, like fucking hood, cloak.
I feel like I feel like the line was, it wasn't the line. Was I was coming in and I go, that's the difference between him and me. He asks twice. Wasn't that the line, or was that a line from a different point?
Carlos is putting into our post Endwalker chat that the new raid slaps.
Hey, Car.
Much deserved break, which if she has, good.
Yes.
And it does. It is such good content. I think it was either he asks twice or he asked, one of the two.
Something like that. It's a long time ago.
And I think I rolled like a 32 on the persuasion check. Like I get some bullshit number. And we like the guys who are there are fully aware of like, yeah, you're not killing them. It's kind of like there's a scene from Peter Pan where Robin Williams is there and someone like swings in and pulls out something at him and goes, wait, are you Peter Pan? And he just fucking legs the pirate, just like goes,
oh yeah, from Hook. Yeah, oh, so good.
Something quite like that, in that way of like, yeah, these are the guys who have not been stopped yet, so I'm not fucking with them. To their credit, a lot of them seem to be that way. Get up to the next floor.
Excuse me, sorry.
You're good.
Felt that
get
coming.
to the next floor, and Tal just like pins someone to the wall.
Yeah.
He doesn't he doesn't agree to us and just squelch.
Yep. Yeah, maybe that's the one. Again, it's all like blurred together. Was that the one where it pinned into the wall and it said like, "I'm gonna ask once, where are they?" And Coles was like, "They tried to stab you." I was like, "Cool, crush."
I think I had like said, "You have a chance here. Stop what you're doing," and it added on to like, "Where are they?" And it just became like
Yeah.
splat.
Yeah, it was literally the "you're gonna call my bluff." Cool, squish. Wasn't bluffing.
Yeah. It was straight up like Shane building shotgun. And getting in then, and it's like Thane desperately trying to get as many of the merfolk to attack him as possible, solely to get them off of the kids. Like the younger soldiers are like, "No, hit me, stop!" Like rebuke the violent cause. Like,
stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it.
Hit me instead. And then there's just like Tala in the corner with the mage. The mage is like, "Stop fucking going over there and help me instead!" And it's like, no.
Crack Snuckles, Mage Slayer.
Mage Slayer with a malicious intent.
Yep.
And while we're doing that, Zal's on the next floor, invisible, using his fucking...
Yeah, meanwhile, this guy's recreating Indiana Jones, like, the freaking bag of sand and a bead of sweat, and there's just carnage happening on the floor below.
Yeah. It's straight up like if you had an Ocean's 11 scene directly above a scene from The Expendables. Just no subtlety, destruction and death, and then up above us, it's like, where the fuck is he? Get the bastard! We get Nora. I think it was Nora. Make our way down. Everyone gets planted by fear except Tala, and just, which is weird because it was a wisdom save, which of course Tala struggled with.
Well, famously, I struggle with wisdom saves.
Yeah. Good news, you won't have to worry about them around Thane anymore. You are immune to the fear condition when you're around Thane, which means if the fear effect tries to get you, it automatically fails because you're next to it.
Yes.
But he can repress it if you stay near it, which I love.
We all love.
I can almost picture it from his point of view, where you look down the corridor, Tyler leaps down, turns, and leaps like this way, like leaps out of view, and the gore comes back. And it's just such a fucking bloody scene in the best way.
Tala scenes are like scary movie level of like absurd amounts of gore, except it's played very seriously.
Yeah. I think it was just before that. Just before that moment. And by the way, I linked it in chat, folks. If you want to look at Blue's Tumblr, you get to see the very messy scene.
Yeah, that one's not been posted on Twitter. I don't post very often on Tumblr these days. That one's not been posted on Twitter because Twitter's a little bit different when it comes to what's good to post.
Yeah, like for example, being covered in what is implied to be the blood of everything you're currently fighting.
That was one of those things where I took a slight bit of artistic license because that is meant to be pure black in Curl's universe. The villains all have black blood, but I added a tint of red to it to make it clear that it was blood, because when it was all black it was like, well, you can't see anything. Tala gives me the fear. Good. She should.
Tala should give you the fear, unless you're, not a coward. What's the one? Mark me down as scared and blank. But I remember something from that scene actually, which it's actually quite almost fucked up in a way, because I think there was like one soldier, one or two, maybe even just the one, that survived from the group that was like pinned in the corner. And the thing is that we didn't know whether or not they had drank the blood yet.
Yes.
So Thane had a hand on this kid's shoulder, and I remember specifically asking Curls for a perception check to see if his skin was beginning to change. So there was just Thane behind this kid, like the equivalent body difference of like Kratos and Thor from God of War in that way of giant, big fucking meaty hands, broad versus just a skinny fucking the equivalent by perspective, by comparison. Just like a kid in just a bit of armor, just like, and there's this notion in my head of like, would Thane have taken the shot on the kid? Because at this point there is no knowledge of a cure, there's still none, and would Thane have done it? Would Thane have just put the blade through the back of the kid's chest and just given him a quick one? And I remember something like Zal was fighting with something upstairs or was shouting for something, and we were throwing something up a hole to him, and Thane looked back and the kid was gone. So the
moment passed, yeah.
The moment had passed, but at the same time, all Thane could think of is just, I made that kid think I was going to kill him. That's all Thane could think of.
Hats. They all live very shitty lives.
Still trying to make the world a better place.
Yes, in their own weird ways. Well, yeah, Tyler and Zal mostly in their own weird way. Thane just genuinely trying to make it a better place, bless him. He's not being weird about it, he's just genuinely trying to help.
It's that wonderful line, I think it's from the second Incredibles, where it's the matter of, yeah, people in power don't like someone who's just there to help. It makes them nervous.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, good. Anyone who bucks up against how Thane reacts to anything or how Thane handles something is a good thing for Thane, because it's a matter of, why are you nervous? I'm only going after bad people. You seem like you're nervous, like you're almost like a bad person who's hiding something. Why are you afraid? You have nothing to be afraid of if you're a good person. And of course, that mentality, and even, I've spoken with this before with Curls, Thane's mentality is like 1 inch from being the most evil, cruel motherfucker in the world. Of just what he deems as right in his head. If that were skewed just enough, so much evil shit would be.
Just because someone is lawful good doesn't mean they can't be a villain. Those two things are not mutually exclusive.
Like, from his own perspective, Handsome Jack saw himself as the hero because he saw nothing but villains about him. But yeah, like it's one of those ones where it's like, I'm definitely curious about what that AU looks like. Is what if Thane were like his father? Which no, that's just Paladin Crumblebottom. Oh, nah.
And other awful things I never want to hear again.
Don't worry, I'm just going to lay on hands. What do you mean I don't get to inflict wounds at 3rd level on you? You're stood right there, my hand's already on you. Which, by the way, I have thought about before, of like if I ever picked up Magic Initiate, I could take inflict wounds. For like the proactive variant of Rebuke the Violent. Just going, there, now you can't hurt anyone. The other, I always thought about it. It was one of those spells. I always had like 3 spells in mind for Thane. What's BB talking about first?
Ooh. Campaign we just finished ended up with my character potentially starting the fantasy equivalent of XCOM. This probably won't be a good thing, but hell, it sure could be lawful. Yep.
Yep. That No XCOM organization can be seen as the hero. You are sending people into the meat grinder against a foe beyond mortal comprehension. That's not a fun game. But that's incredibly intriguing, BB. Incredibly intriguing.
Chaos reigns.
Let chaos take the world. Not quite core, but they try to be good. They try to be lawful by the rules of the world. The rules of the game mechanic is something else entirely. Yeah, if anyone can't tell, I am biting at the bit to get back to playing Go-Kart, as is everyone, because we all have taste, and Curls is a fantastic DM.
Hell yeah. I think everybody's missing D&D at this point. It's been a while. Been a while.
Everything I hear about Curls as a DM fills me with fear, but like that good fear, you know? Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations, you're summarizing Go-Kart. Fear, but like good fear.
It's one of those reasons why I enjoyed playing Thane, because it is the equivalent of you're playing a hero character in a dark fantasy. What does a hero look like in a dark fantasy?
Here's an example on how not to do it. Me!
It is a fun. Shut up, Core. Just because you're
Misty
right.
and so much they're playing Warhammer Tabletop to get their dice rolling fix. You're correct and you should say it.
Honestly, it's kind of been fun getting into the Warhammer stuff, but mostly just because we're using it on tabletops and we get the luxury without the costs. Just the rule books.
And we don't have to deal with the fact that everybody lives fucking miles apart from each other.
Yeah. I've kind of been bullying Stacey into getting all the tabletop stuff set up so that when I'm away we can play together from a distance.
Aww. You do it for them while they're at work one of the days.
What's it?
Do it for them while they're at work one of the days. Just steal a computer and
Here's the
install.
problem. They work from home on that computer.
Oh, I actually didn't know that. I thought they worked in an office.
Oh, they're over there.
Well, it's 9:30. I'd expect them to be there now.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised with her work ethic, honestly. Bless her heart. It's like there'll be times where I'm like there looking at like 6:30 and I'm like, bitch, fuck you do.
Haha, I wouldn't know about that, was working on this at midnight.
Yes, but Blue, you're not paid hourly.
Bitch, I wish.
One of the only drawbacks I wish I was back on site for. It's like, hey, do you mind working till 9? Like, you willing to pay me till 9? Yeah? I'll fucking work.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
I'm calling my strategy for how I've been drawing stuff so far my rule blocks strategy, where I I start with blocks, and then I put the shapes of everything I want in those blocks, and I build a doodle.
This is the drawing strategy most people use. It's all about them shapes.
Frog is making mumbling noises and approaching me. There is no space here if you bring that book over. That thing is a giant. I'm not sure if you can hear the memes. That one shows a booty. Yeah, yes, it's a very large book.
Yes.
If someone broke into this apartment, she could use half of her art gallery as a bludgeoning weapon.
That's relatable. Hello, child. Come hither. Wow. Has Dad gone to bed? He might have done. Wow. Bow's in chat. Wow. You know, I might make WoW one of the free emotes because I feel like it doesn't mean much outside of this channel. And it means everybody can use it.
It'd be a fun one just for like people to constantly spam. Wow, 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 wow.
Wow. Wow. Yes, I know, Sadie. Wow.
Wow be upon thee. I think I'm gonna leave that and I'm gonna try a bit of writing. My head's kind of in a writing spot.
Yeah.
To no one's surprise, I'll be writing more involving Thane. It's more what ifs than anything else because it's just, it also is stuff that, like, if ever a potential pops up for stuff to happen, because of the way that my head works, I tend not to be able to think well in the moment for, like, really good lines, in my opinion. So it's one of those things that if I write these, I get to think of, like, well, if something like this happens, I could pluck this, like, stuff I've written just from my head of, oh, that would be something to say in a moment like this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, like, make it exist. And once it exists, I can, process it.
Right, okay. Smush the kitty. Squish the cat. Gotta squish that cat.
Squish that cat. I just remembered from back on Tumblr, I remember the fucking, when you had put Tala's icon on the Jabberwock, and it just looked like the way the Jabberwock's upper lip kind of like curled up.
It was the best decision of my life to make Tala's Roll20 icon overlap the rim, because it always looks like she's grabbing whatever she's on top of, and it's just always perfect.
Absolutely. have thought of things before and like using things from other media and like chatting with Curls. I'm like, hey Curls, if X ever happens in the story, would I be okay to say this? And she's like, you won't because you will make me cry and I will kill you. And I'm like, okay, then I will absolutely use it. Interestingly, I couldn't actually hear anything that Sadie had said, so
Oh,
the noise cancellation on Discord worked,
yeah.
but everyone on Game was blessed with wah. This is one of the main benefits of me growing back on my beard is that I can just sit there and just go.
Yes, speed screechies.
There was a time yesterday, Stacey got fed up with something at work. I literally went in. I think I posted it somewhere. Where I just like put beard oil in. I came on. And just
Yes.
Easy way to make the frog happy. So currently, what you're trying to do is trying to get it so it's not pseudo clipping when it.
Yeah, yeah. Essentially, it's a little awkward to do because, in my own hindsight, I maybe should have tried to essentially model eyelids, but I, hindsight, first model. But also, it's not like it's not like a rig animation. It's a shape key, so there is no sort of like keyframe midpoint. So it literally has the sort of you have on and off, and it sort of auto calculates the middle. So if it was like a keyframe animation, I'd just be like, well, don't clip. But it's not that easy. That's already a little bit better,
though. A little bit better, yeah.
The trick is making it more sort of a midway rather than. Let's explain from shape. this vertex. Where's this one go? What's happened here? Where did this go?
Why weren't you at Vertex?
This is vertex practice.
No, I'm saying that to the pixel that's missing, or whichever it is. God, I feel like an old man. Is this one of your animes?
Gnome? What? I missed that. Gnome? What gnome? Wait, they weren't gnomes, were they? I don't know anymore. What? Are you referring to something that was in the background? Practice thing.
He's referring to why weren't you at elf practice?
Oh, right. They were elves.
Christmas elves, which looked like no. Well, good news, BB. It's January. You don't have to die on that hill.
Hey. It was my old outro music.
Hey.
Now we get new outros.
Yeah. It's a fair point. I'm not listening to anything. One thing I have like enjoyed, but I guess I need to more like pull it in to make it come up more is Thane's name. The name Thane itself, it's not actually a name, it's a title, it's a rank.
Yes.
And the idea that really it's indicative of like his family and of like the mentality of it is that no, a Thane is not a good thing. It's like no, you were designated to just be someone who holds land.
Right.
In Anglo-Saxon, a man who held land granted by the king or by a military nobleman, ranking between an ordinary freeman and a hereditary noble. So not even a noble by some standards.
Sat here for an hour and a half as a glass of water I have not touched, so everybody hydrate. Let's get the example open that I'm using. Layout.
Ah, yes, the one video of two wolves basically arguing over an apple.
It's my apple.
It literally is a fight of my apple.
Apple.
And they are biting at each other, but like it's clearly that kind of like,
Ah.
like no one's trying. Like they're both like lying down like meh, meh. Their equivalent of it. Big and dumb wolves are. It's fantastic. They're just plus extra dogs.
It's one of the recurring themes in Discord that I always find very amusing. Very good. They keep saying with anger, with all the werewolves, and whenever she's talking to people, it's just like, people think that I'm this horrible beast, but I'm just a wolf crossed with a man. What happens when you get that? You just get a dog. and everyone's just like, huh.
Some of the Discworld content is fucking wild, though. In that way of like simplistic, so down to earth. Like if you ask a kid the question, you'd get this answer, and by that logic, most of it makes more sense than anything adults.
Yeah. It's like Discworld totally makes sense, mainly just within Discworld though. That's the thing. That's the thing. The more you read / listen, because all of ours are on audiobooks, the more you listen to Discworld, the more you just sort of nod and go, oh yeah, that totally makes sense, because you become aware of just how Discworld is.
Oh, I didn't say this to you, but um, I posted in the FF channel earlier. So Paladins had a massive change to them.
I was
this week.
aware. I was aware there were class changes in the patches. Guessing you didn't read the changes in the patches. Whoopsie. It's a bold move, really, to tank on patch day without reading the patch notes. Honestly, very bold move.
The thing is, it's the only tank class that changed. Only one. Thankfully not that much. Paladins used to have a thing where they have two combos. One is a standard and one ends in a dot. They've taken away that combo into the dot, and that one which was a dot is now just a single big damage attack. That's all.
Oh,
And
okay.
you know the one where you probably see me show it off at the Target Dominik, where it's just a bunch of swords just stabbed down from heaven.
Yes.
They've changed it around a little bit in that it now costs a lot of mana to use, and I've ended up finding myself, because they're more or less just making it like, yeah, you get to use more of your mana in more of your combos, and they're like, oh shit, I'm spending mana. Fuck, I'm actually using it.
Time to disrespect mana like Dark Knights.
You can't. You really can't. Because
They're working
unlike
on
Dark
it.
Knights, I have a cast time. But there is something very fun about being the off tank as a paladin on some stuff. Like I did the most recent trial. I used my defensive, like, oh, I take damage to someone else. Like the last one, there was like this one healer. So something snares them in place, and then a big AoE comes in, and I was just outside of it. I use the cover ability, so I take damage to them, and I hit my invuln, and I just go, hey. And then it's just like, oh, that went through my invuln. Went right through my invuln, left me nearly dead, and I'm there going, huh. Ow.
That's always the ow.
Did everyone see that? Because I'm not
Doing it again.
Squint.
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 Okay, that's a bit better. So we add in 2 new keys for each individual blink.
Straight up, like, if you made this fucker blue, I'd straight up be ready to go, Littlefoot?
New from Mix is what I want to do. I almost forgot how to do it. Left blink. Turn on, go back into edit mode, turn on the wireframe. I just want to select all of that, and then I go vertex, blend from shape, like that.
So, you don't need to go looking for this, but there's been a thing that's been added to. It's not really added. It's more like a mod someone's figured out how to do, where it's a hug emote, and it's a an emote that gets used, and someone's figured out how to take it out of the cutscene it's in, because they've never been able to do hug right, and they eventually figured it out at one point. But someone's able to figure out how to pluck it out, and you can use it on any two characters now. Like, they figured out how to make it work for anything. So don't look at this, because a lot of these are like very, very sad things of like, well, there's obviously sad things of like Haurchefant and any Warrior of Light, but also character you don't know yet and Warriors of Light. But it's incredibly adorable, and if I ever get it to work, I'm absolutely making Iphignia hug Haurchefant. One thing I can do is make Carl sad.
Speaking of Kobold, I was in Touch. I assume you mean Touch Scaly Tail. A few days ago, they made a Kobold Snomimo. Ah! Hickory made a Snomimo. That's adorable. I was going to visit one of their streams the other day, but they were playing shooter, and it was like literally 11:30. I was like, I don't want a shooter right now. I need chill vibes, not bangs and blasts. Say hi.
Right, I'm trying to bat my fingers.
Okay, vertex, blend from shape. There we go. There's one. What's the other? Okay. Alright. I don't want to do UVs. UVs are so boring.
Oh, also, I did decide on cutting Tradane's hair.
Ooh.
Primarily because I got fed up of, because they have that long bit of hair at the back. It always clips through anything with the collar.
Right.
So it did my head in, so I was just like, you know what, fuck. So I went away and got a cut, and you know how Alice has a little tassel thing down the side? One of the
Yes.
Vieira hair models has the exact same kind of like braid down the side with a little tassel, and I'm like, done. Immediately.
Yes, cute.
Yeah, this is just a picture of them in a snow background, so I'll actually send this in. Pop this into the
Gotta vanish friendos at risk Cobalt goes good.
Yeah,
Thanks for stopping by, friend.
yeah, there's no context of where that is, so enjoy that cue. Also, the armor is the armor from the most recent raid, and it looks dope.
Oh, it does look. Oh, they look so cute. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, you know I'm a sucker for fringe tufties.
Yes.
All
I
my
enjoy it.
characters be having fringe tufties.
Yeah.
Everybody with good taste gives their characters fringe tufties.
CBB, much love. I do enjoy it, but also like that little bit of hair down the side is adorable. But the neck is quite short.
Mm-hmm.
But it gives a little bit of their length on other things as well, so I digged it. It's also Tradain in a white location, so dark or not, it still like brings out the white of the hair, which I always. It is hilarious because even in that, 90% of the things that you get with Vieira, you don't have the tip of their ears exposed. So there is a tip butterscotch bun like brown at the top, but that's it. It is just there. So like 90% of the time, it's just non-existent. You don't see it. Ah, I just zoomed back in. We're in Pinocchio in the monster whale scene. Okay. Speaking of things with Pinocchio in it, the new Puss in Boots film.
Yes.
Death. Good design.
Yes, very good.
It's very enjoyable of a presentation for an antagonist of just this is the equivalent of anything else that you'll see where it's like, okay, well here's Puss in Boots. So like to give it a comparison, I saw a great video on this where it's like there's a few ways you can do it. Oftentimes you can either tell the villain's thing by either having the villain always be there, which if you do, you run a risk of running short with them. If the villain is there constantly, the villain runs the risk of not being effective anymore because, like, well, the villain's there. Why isn't the villain doing something?
Yes.
Are they useless? Are they bad? Are they biding their time for some master plan? The master plan better be fucking good. But you use them only bits. So, like, it's obvious, like, either you show the effect of them, like, I'm gonna self-brag here, looking at the room that the kid just cleared out of Archmages.
Yes.
Or you show them by proxy of the hero, which I think, in a very roundabout way, we obviously, of course, have it with Mara and Tala. Like, look at Tala's entire perspective. This has been made by this woman's actions. This has motivated her to push her. And the other side of it is Thane and Eddie. These are two men who have been in a position which many would be envious of, but whilst in that position have had such hardships in them, they have every right to be a nasty motherfucker. But it's the opposites of how they handled it, which is quite good. Of course, in Puss in Boots, it's like the first. It's going to be a weird transition, but it's like the first Terminator film in the way of here's the Terminator, obviously way stronger than you, way tougher, stronger than the average man,
Yeah.
practically unstoppable. Second film, oh, here's the Terminator again. Look at it running around and how impressive it is. And then there's the T-100. Now watch the T-100 bench press the Terminator. Suddenly, our model of what is the strong one is no longer the case. In that way, with Puss in Boots and the Big Bad Wolf, of here's the Big Bad Wolf showing up, and it's clear, obvious bounty hunter design, setting up this suave, speaky voice. It's exactly like Puss's if Puss was literally a dog, but
Yes.
up a scale, faster, better, all that, just like that, fantastic. Needless to say, I think we can both agree because you've definitely seen enough gifs of it. I've seen enough of it as well.
Oh yeah.
But fucking
It can't exist in the spaces that we do and not see it. It's a good way to take the natural what is a natural phenomena and make it seem supernatural, because like all animals' eyes do that, but the way they present it makes it seem so mystical and powerful. But it's just the eye shine that every animal gets, but the way that they present it with the dramatic lighting of like just the right moment.
like almost like that classic lightning bolt thing where you either see a flash of the true image of the person or their shadow shifts, kind of thing, of like giving you this otherworldly, uncanny vibe. And then of course, there's one scene where he does the like eye thing, like eye to eye thing, like pointing at his eyes and like pointing out. And when he does, his eyes are gone. His eyes are clear. They're empty. They're void. They're just clear. And it's like, oh, that's horrifying. It's really, really good design, and I enjoy it. That film seems to have like 5 villains in it, and yet everything I've seen is like, yeah, no, every single person that is an antagonist in this film is good. Like, it
Yes.
doesn't bloat. Somehow, it doesn't bloat. Like, all I'm saying is Puss in
Yeah,
Boots.
everybody's saying it's a good film. Pretty much the only criticism I'm thinking is because there are like 5 villains. It's that some of the plot bits, some of the plot bits go through a little bit too fast. But that like that's literally the only criticism that I've seen of like saying like there's so much good stuff in it that they have to go through it so quickly because it's a film and they've only got so much time that they can do things with.
Same time, you don't want to waste time on a villain who, like, you know, they can show up, have a cool moment, and be done. Like, you know, up, done. They don't need to be a long-lasting one. But I really, it's one of those ones where I kind of want to watch it on the weekend with herself. Like, I'll drive her down to the cinema to do it solely because I'm excited for the film. Because literally, have heard nothing but praise.
Yeah, I've heard very good things about it as well.
The other thing as well, have you seen any of the thing of it where the wolf whistles?
Yes.
I love that because what's very important in this is gonna tell a bit, but what's very important in horror is giving the audience a clear transition. Like, whether or not the scene has transitioned, give the audience a clear indication it's about to. Like something like a bell ringing out, or the shadows of the clouds just like form over, or it goes just pitch black into night.
Yeah.
Something like that to indicate transition. With just that simple whistle of this like long, melancholic, like almost just bring around the Rosie style tune to it. Like, if you heard it in a bog, you'd be like, well, I'm fucked. Something's coming to kill me. Good shit. We love to see. the other thing I have to do. A bunch of clothes got their gender restrictions removed.
Yes, I saw that as well. More Gib.
Carol specifically sent it to me, going, "For you, it's for me."
It's for you.
But I can use a lot of the totally legitimate systems to view all of these outfits myself and take cute pictures in them. So I will.
Are you? Oh, it's this one.
Oh no. Apparently there's a new 3D series of Star Wars stuff, and yeah, it's easier if I just send you the GIF.
Oh dear. You realize you're sending this to the wrong person, right?
No, I'm sending this to you for a reason.
Okay.
Further proof that they're the same person. Okay. Every time I look at it, the more I look at it after someone has said before to me, like, "Oh yeah, they would be like the Obi-Wan of certain things," I'm like, stop. I can recognize any similarities. Stop it. It's like the antithesis of stuff that happened with Daz, where every old man got compared to him. Whereas here, it's like, here's a wide selection of varying men. Like, these are just good people. Like, it's just the generic characteristic of good people enough to compare them to Thane, apparently. I'll take it, especially Obi-Wan. I'll take that as a goddamn compliment.
Yeah. So how dare you compare me to these good people? I was like, yes, yes, yes.
More the case of, I'll take the comparison to the good characters. It's the, when I get compared to the same 4 guys 6 billion times, I'm like, okay, shut up.
always bloody comes back to teeth. Teeth. I'll organize my teeth. They're all over the goddamn place.
Also, someone gorgeously drew a particular guy who was misunderstood at the start of Scarlet and Violet, and his very, very, very good boy.
Aww. You don't have to be vague. The game's been out for nearly 2 months.
I'm blanking on certain names, so I don't want to just say Arvin and get it wrong.
Yeah, it's Arvin is the one who had the dog.
I got it right. Hey. It's me. Of course, I'm going to try and play it safe because I know I fuck it up 90% of the time.
Bless. goes for all claws, but why do I feel like they're not going to be the right claws? That's on that foot. Yep, that's on a totally different foot.
Guilliman. My brain just instantly went to the fucking 3rd gen Courage Digimon. I think it's Guillimon, I think it is. Or...
just Gilmon, there's no A. Gilmon.
Just from this distance, I just like saw the pixels around him and like, you know, the banding of everything, and all I could think of was just like Digimon. Oh, monsters, like it's about to fuck.
Oh, it would be very easy for me to like make a texture to like be a reference to it. It's like a spoof. Like people, there's like in VR chat, loads of people will take like dog models and apply like patterns to them to make them look like other things.
Yeah.
Where's the other one? Where's the other one? That looks like it. Okay, so all of our toe claws are together. Sit next to each other there.
Also, Blue, this isn't really a spoiler, but it might be something that provokes your next MMO stream potentially.
Hmm.
You know the cute little put up to the ear listening to like the earpiece thing in Final Fantasy?
Link Pearl.
Yeah. There is an emote for that, but you can only get it in PvP. It's been added only just there.
Ah, right.
That's one of those things of like, well, I know what I'm going to be doing.
Ah, fair enough.
I want cute little Link Pearl because for Tradrain it's funny because everyone else does this. Tradrain has to do this. Tradrain has to go up here and like tap.
That's very cute.
Up here.
Yeah, that's very cute. It's an arm, okay. Oops. this is going to be the other arm. Baby bird and memes. Baby bird.
My child. Aww.
Aww, Budgie. It's very cute.
Very great.
And they get water everywhere. Bless. The G's.
As is the bird way. Still have a little bit of a runny nose, so I'm just there when I'm off camera.
Right.
Because no one deserves to see just.
Blech. These are both going to be legs, I'm guessing. Yep, that's an upside down leg. Turn it that way around. And this will be the matching leg. Ooh, it's interesting that it cut it that way. Both of those can go.
sec there. I'm just gonna dip out. My eyes getting watery for no reason.
I wonder if there's a way I can get this to, like, relax in a way? Pack Islands, average islands, no, probably not. No, probably not. Welcome back.
Don't know why that happened. My eyes were just like, what if wet? And I'm like, stop that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've been working on this for a while. I'm guessing that that's going to be... There's more teeth here! Oh my god! God, I'm just leaving all these goddamn teeth everywhere. What's this bit? Oh, it's the neck. Okay. Ooh, Fuzz wants to have a sip. Thanks, Fuzz. Because we're in that part of the stream where it's the deep silence of concentration.
Yes, very much so.
It's interesting because like my own head wants to keep working on this because of like the serotonin of like getting it into VR chat and seeing it working. I'm just like, I keep working on it. But the reasonable part of my brain is like, you've done nothing but this for like 2 months. Might be healthy to do something else. So I don't know. Tomorrow I might just, even though I want to work on this, I might do something else tomorrow just for a one-off stream. Because I even work on this off stream. That's how much I've been trying to, mainly because I was trying to hit that deadline.
Yeah.
Pushed, yeah. Which has now been done.
Yeah, you've hit the deadline. Now you're just trying to improve upon.
Yeah, I ended up submitting early because I didn't know how much I would get done, so I already submitted before I even got into VR chat. I submitted.
I'd say you were better off doing that because if you had gotten to a stage where it's like, okay, you have to submit in half a day, and you're halfway through something, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
That stress ain't worth it, Chief.
Yeah. Yeah, that was why I took the screenshots of where I was and sent that. part of the submission it was include a link to like your socials or your web page or your wherever. So I included my Twitter. So it's like, well, if they only look at the submissions after the submission day is passed, which is tomorrow, then they'll see the video. So they'll see that they'll see the VRC video. So we'll see. Don't know when I'll hear back. There was no estimate. Don't know if I'll hear back. I don't know if it's one of those things of you don't hear back if you don't get picked, because they get lots of submissions.
I imagine so. Is it like an open forum of submission, like anyone can submit?
Yeah. But the prerequisite is that it's for VR chat avatars. But there's a lot of people that make them.
So, do you want a snippet of this?
Of course I do.
And with that, his mind drew clear of his vision with her, a letter in his hand, and now a dozen more fates thrown into the balance. Everything would stand on the edges of a dozen knives. One wrong lean, one slight straying from the path, and all would fail, hoist with his own petard. Every decision and every life, everything he promised and swore and built to. Every Miyun in the mud, dead. Every Ophelia in her bed, every promise of guardianship, the one singular promise, come home. Many were already broken, dead, or dismayed. Many were already fallen far and tragic. He hoped he could fail this one.
Oof. Oof.
I'll take one line from one other section of will he plunge when he needs to? Matters not if he can live with himself. For if he fails this deed, that concern will not be his.
Such a light-hearted world we live in.
That's the fun part. It's that wonderful thing about the cathartic. Hey, I'm going to begin this sad thing. Okay, now I'm stepping away from the sad thing. I'm taking the headset off.
Yes.
Discord closing. The catharsis has been had in a safe place. We just have that issue of we're invested in our Blorbo, so...
I love all my Blurbo so much.
Our Blorbos would not love us, but...
No. That might be a finger. Yes, it's this finger.
Every day they step closer. Every day he hears a promise. If he could rip the words from his mouth, if he was not a coward in that moment, it confused her that he would. The fruit is now sown. The tapestry is being weaved. The crimson is already coating it. At least it is not dyed full black. Yet.
Wow, I can't believe Thane be vague posting about Tala. Wow. Joking.
Well, if you want. Okay, yeah, you want tragedy, fine.
Look, I make jokes to deal with my pain. Okay. No, go ahead. I'm not telling you not to. I'm just saying I make jokes to deal with my pain.
He hoped he could fail this promise. Leads to. Why did you never go back? It seems you're the one being selfish. He never had an answer. How could he to have an answer to such an unfair question? Who was she to even ask? When she leaves kin to go kill herself on the anvil of her own tragedy, to be broken and remolded into a monster of her design, was it not selfish of her? No, this is not a question he should be asking. There is only one question worth asking. Does he have the stomach for it? Shit that would instantly result in Thane having a hole punched in his chest. It's this odd dichotomy where it's like, no matter what can be said or done, it's like, if Tala ever did that, all it would mean is that Mar has won.
Yes, it would.
You've definitely seen the tragic trope where there is a voice of reason character who is killed in the moment of rage by the quote-unquote protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that moment of, there it is, the threshold has been crossed.
Yep.
Just because we could make this dark fantasy a dark tragedy. Just saying.
Oh, it's already a tragedy, just ask girls.
Yes, but we didn't have more tragedy. We had one, yes. What about second tragedy?
What about second tragedy?
Since I was vague, I may as well just go off now. Will he plunge when he needs to? Matters not if he can live with himself. That's like right there. If he fails this deed, that concern will not be his. Her anger and hatred keeps building until a fateful day where she apologizes. Returning from discussion and planning, she apologizes in 1,000 ways beyond partial. Such relief he felt from near drowning was the first step, the first push in the right direction. If she can temper herself now, lean on ideals that may keep from becoming the monster to kill a monster, maybe he won't have to keep a promise. It's the truest gift she could give him. The gift of not having to kill someone that he will not admit to this. He will not admit to anything. Not yet. Not anymore. Not worth the excess misery. Asvion has the right idea of it. If they don't know, they can't be hurt. If they don't know, no one can hurt them to hurt you. At least you have the freedom from that guilt. At least that's one freedom. As they stand on the precipice, ready to dive headlong into the abyss, be swallowed into the annals of history, into a moment of legend. He prays it will be one of triumph, free of tragedy. But he knows the truth. He loathes it, but he fully understands it. As the words ring out in his mind once more, as he looks upon someone he truly cares for, he reaffirms the lie in his mind, I will do what needs to be done.
Go off.
Tragedy.
Go off.
That the question of would Thane do it sits in my head so much that it's just a brain worm. And God bless Carl for having it.
Yep.
Because like it's probably the only time he's made a promise he wants to break.
What is this? be the tail tip. No, okay. No, you are the tail tip. Okay, why didn't it select it then? That was weird. Teeny tiny tip of the tail. Grab and bring it over here.
There's a big serotonin for the end of the evening. A guy sees all of this, like a bird that's stood next to a sewer grate, looks down, obviously registers that there's a chick that's fallen through it.
Oh.
Lifts everything up, goes down, gets it out. The chick just bolts it to Mama Dearest and just fucking goes.
Oh, baby.
But then there's that peak serotonin of, just imagine like your kid falls down a well and a giant just rips the fucking well out, goes down and goes, there you go. The true key power fantasy is to have the power to just help everyone.
Hell yeah. It's like an inverse jigsaw puzzle.
Also, I'm very specifically waiting for Curls to, like, I'm just going to say the 20th or something, and then I'm going to start sending links to Curls for, like, here, read this, here, read this, here, read this.
Don't overwhelm her, because that'll have the opposite the intended effect, because she'll be just like, oh, that's too much stuff, shut down.
I'm more mean of, like, you know that image of the raccoon just being gingerly handed something and they, like, reach down?
Oh, yeah, that's where you are, just like, give, give.
Just, like, gently give, and then I leave, and then I gently give, and then I leave. Speaking of leave, my gamer, it's 11 o'clock.
Ah, damn, it sure is. Okay. Well then. Yeah. It's time to finish for the evening.
Yeah.
Thank you for keeping me company. I've been lonely the last couple of weeks. I've not had any of my partners. Right, my textures are now an absolute mess because I've been redoing the UVs, but it's better in the long run to get the UVs reorganized.
Oh, yeah. And this will be the last time for a bit you'll see this background, or you'll see Frog on any of the streams walking around in the background. Unfortunately, we will resolve this pesty problem very soon.
Yeah, soon.
Permanently.
Soon.
Evil Frog cackles in the distance.
Soon he will be mine.
Fucking soon, I'll have all my cat's emeralds.
I'll get you next time, they man. Meh. Enough memeing. It's time for us to go to bed.
Go to sleep.
Sleepy time. Right, I will see you guys tomorrow for another art stream as per our schedule and some Dragon Age in the evening. As I said, my brain both does and doesn't want me to work on this, so I guess turn up tomorrow and find out what the heck I feel like doing.
Really, you just need to be bullied and inspired by a friend into drawing something else?
If I even want to draw.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think it's just, I think it's that slight part of like, this is the boring bit. It's boring to do. It's boring to do, and it's probably kind of boring to watch. It's one of those things that I need to sit down and like, I don't know, put like D20 on or something like that. If I've had time for such things. But yeah. Could do more shape keys though, because shape keys are quite fun. Moving the face to be like, hey, expressions, because they need expressions. We've got blinking put in, but we need expressions. So I can bite people. Right. Bite you. Good night, everybody. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Thank you, guys. Bye.